What's up, everybody? My name is OMG, WTF, LOL, BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are doing a local to global challenge, playing as the International Wrestling Corporation, our own created company, and we are in our second year as a company, the year 1971. We're starting from the beginning, the Bruno Sammartino years, pretty much. Speaking of the Bruno Sammartino years, in the previous episode, we kind of talked about, we kind of went over, the big things that have happened throughout, the previous year of 1970. And one of the really big things that we found out was that Bruno Sammartino was no longer the WWF World Champion, or whatever the hell the name of the title is. He was no longer the World Champion of the WWF, the, WWE, the big company that we all know today. He actually was hired by JWA, Japan Wrestling Association, I want to say they're called. Don't quote me. But anyway, he was hired on a written contract, a written deal to go over to the JWA. He dropped the title to Killer Kowalski. No record reign long championship, although he's been champion for a little while here now. Either way, though, after all that huge, shocking revelation, Bruno was fired. Along with some other people, JWA fired quite a lot of talents because they were trying to reduce their roster because they had a lot of people. But they fired Bruno Sammartino along with like Harley Race, one of the Bushwhackers, a couple of other names that I can't remember off the top of my head. There was quite a few people they let go, and now they're hiring people again, which is kind of crazy. Bruno Sammartino, no longer the WWF champion, got hired to a different company and dropped that title to Killer Kowalski, and now he doesn't even work for that company or the WWF. So it'll be interesting to see if Bruno goes back to the WWF. Too many W's. If he goes back to work for Vince McMahon Sr., or if, like, say, WCW, Jimmy Crockett Promotions, maybe the IWC picks him up. I'll let you guys know now, he is willing to negotiate with us. Like, I was like, let me just humor myself. Bruno is willing to negotiate with the IWC, but he kind of costs like almost $3,000. So I'm definitely not hiring him anytime soon, but that'd be kind of cool. Maybe we'll see Bruno Sammartino in the future. Also, we're going to see a new debut tonight. I hired I believe he's from Australia, a talent named Les Roberts. Kind of sounds familiar again. A lot of you guys filled me in on who Robert Fuller was. That name sounded familiar then, and you guys kind of like, oh yeah, he was that WCW manager and all that. And then I actually saw him on MLW when I started watching that stuff, so it's kind of crazy how that came full circle. Les Roberts is another name that kind of sounds familiar that I really couldn't tell you where it's from, but I went ahead and hired him because the game said that he was a promising talent for the future. He wasn't working anywhere, so I figured, let's give him his first shot, and maybe he'll stay loyal, but he wasn't loyal. Did we do something to Alex the Butcher's gimmick before I go ahead and run this show? It has been tweaked, so I think we're fine, because he's got a legendary gimmick. I don't want to change it yet. There's a lot of people here with some pretty good gimmicks, and then there's Jimmy Snuka with his awful gimmick. But we got like Baron von Heisinger with a legendary gimmick, Bob Roop with a legendary gimmick, Dino Bravo. I've never seen this many legendary gimmicks in my, Guillotine Gordon. The entire time I've played Jim Alexi, entire time I've been playing TEW, we got Jody Arnold with another legendary. I've never seen so many people with legendary gimmicks. By the way, that's Les Roberts, if he looks familiar to any of you guys. It's pretty crazy. And then Roger Brown, of course, who is unfortunately injured still. He'll be out for how long again? 9 months. Jesus. Luckily, he doesn't get paid every month because we're still a local company. We don't have to do that. Anyway, I am running long here, so let us go ahead and run the show, and let's get started. First show of the new year, 1971. We're still, of course, doing IWC Origins. My hope is that once we become a little bit of a bigger company, Origins will be like our Monday Night Raw or Impact, stuff like that, or Nitro. So that's kind of my hope, to get it maybe a little bit of, what's that? I don't know the term, but they have like prestige. There it is. There's prestige towards shows. And if I can get Origins built up to like, I don't want to say legendary because I don't think it'll get there anytime soon, but if I can get it built up to like a recognizable show or whatever the prestige levels are, and then get it on TV, I think that'll help us in the long run. So that's my hope with Origins here, to make it kind of the television program for the future. Anyway, though, we are still in just some, parking lot, somebody's backyard. Either way, it's a no-name venue. We're in front of 105 people, which is a step up, I believe. And we start off the night with a 43 solid D rating. Before we go ahead and get to the promo, though, I will say one thing. This show does kind of worry me. We're spending, I think, a little over $5,000. I think we're spending around $5,500 on workers here tonight. We're using a lot of the more expensive talents here because, I'm trying to get a lot of fans in. They want to see a lot of, the name talents here. So, plus it's a new year. I'm starting some new storylines here. So, I'm just hoping that this show doesn't put us in the ground. We already lost about $2,000 or a little bit over $2,000 from the previous month because we did that big December show. And I planned on losing money, but I'm hoping that because we're in the $5,000 mark here, that we could still maybe etch out a little bit of a profit, but we'll see. Anyway, finally, let's get on the show. Sorry for keeping you guys waiting here. 43 solid D rating here as we open up the night with the ring all decorated. It's got nice little streamers, maybe balloons, kind of a tacky decorations. Nothing too special here. We're still a local company. We're not wasting all our money on some, big, fancy decorations here. Either way, the financial backer, Don Arnold, is in the ring. He has a mic in his hand and he's opening the show and he goes, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Don Arnold and I'm the financial backer of the IWC, which in many ways makes me the owner of the IWC. So in case you didn't know, now you know. Now a new year has begun here in the IWC, and we ended the last year off with a bang by crowning our very first IWC regional champion. And that young man just so happens to be my own flesh and blood. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, your president of the IWC, the new IWC regional champion, Jody Arnold." And then Jody Arnold makes his way down to the ring. He's got the title around his waist. I'll show you guys the title a little bit after his show here. It's a nice title. I finally picked a picture for it. Jody Arnold, he makes his way down to the ring. He's waving to the crowd. He's waving to the crowd. He's shaking hands. He's still a babyface. He's not exactly sure what went down between him, his uncle, and his friend Jerry Monty, but I'm sure he'll find out sooner or later. Anyway, Jody gets into the ring, and Don looks him right in his face. He grabs him by his face or whatever, kind of embracingly, not like he's choking him or anything. He looks at him and he goes, "Jody, I just want to tell you how proud I am of you." And they hug each other in the middle of the ring. They embrace each other, but it's not long before they're interrupted by Jerry Monty, the man who faced Jody Arnold for the IWC Regional Championship and was cost. He was screwed out of his opportunity. Don Arnold interfered in that match. I believe he attacked Jerry. He at least distracted him. You got to forgive me. I forget some things here and there. But either way, Don Arnold cost Jerry Monty his opportunity. Jody, unbeknownst to him, didn't know what happened, still picked up the victory. He's the champion. But Jerry Monty comes out here. He interrupts the celebration and he goes, "How proud are you?" "Well, you would be proud, since you practically handed Jody the championship." And then Jody looks at his uncle and he goes, "What's he talking about, Uncle?" And then Don, he backs him up. He reassures him. He goes, "Ignore him, Jody. He's just mad that he didn't walk away as our new champion after all his hard work." And then Jody, he takes to the mic as well and he goes, "That's a shame, Jerry. I thought we were friends and you'd be happy for me. My Uncle Don told me that the second I won this title, that I'd have a target on my back. I just didn't expect my friend to be the first to go after the bullseye." And then Jerry looks at him kind of like, "What are you talking about?" And he just goes, "Your uncle is lying to you, Jody. You didn't beat me for that title. Your uncle cost me that title." No. My uncle wouldn't risk his integrity for that. You're just jealous. But you know what? I've beaten you once before, Jerry, and I can beat you again. You want a rematch? And he pulls up his pants or his tights and he goes, "Then let's do it." And then Jerry, he's like, okay, whatever. That's fine by me. That's all I wanted. He just wanted a rematch, you know? Let's do it. He wants another opportunity. He was screwed. But before we can get it underway, before we can get, oh my God, that southern accent's kind of sticking with me a little bit here. Before we can get it underway here, and before we can have the rematch, Jerry versus Jody, none other than, oh boy, I didn't have any water. Oh boy. Everyone's favorite, Ripper Savage comes out.
Now wait a freaking minute here. Look here, clown. You had your thoughts, and you lost, Buster Brown. I was screwed out of that tournament. But now that I put that fake Savage down, it's the Ripsters. It's time that the Ripster takes what's his.
But as cliche as it may be, we are in the 1971. Maybe I'm starting out the cliche here. Along comes Bob Roop as well, who comes out and he says, "Shut your damn mouth, or I'll shut it for you. It's just like I did last month when I slapped you across your face."
You and I got some business to talk about. Don't think I forgot about you, turkey.
And that's when Don takes to the mic and goes, "All right, just all you shut up. You all want a shot at Jody, and that's understandable. But no one here in the IWC is just given a shot. You gotta earn it. Which is why tonight we'll have our first ever three-way dance to determine the number one contender for the IWC Regional Championship. It'll be Bob Roop versus Ripper Savage versus Jerry Monty, and the winner of that said match will go on to face Jody Arnold next month for the IWC Regional Championship. Good luck tonight, gentlemen. And there we go. We're going to have a huge triple threat match later on tonight between three of the top talents here in the IWC. And I'm hoping that that's going to be a good one. Let's go ahead and take these down because we no longer need these there. Okay. By the way, I hope you guys like my impersonations for Jody and Darn Arnold here. I gave him a very hickey accent. But anyway, got the show off to a strong start. Got the crowd hot. Started the storylines of the corruption of Jody Arnold and Iceman versus the Savage Slaughterhouse. Good stuff. I wish the W wasn't so big so you can see IWC, but over here it just looks like IVC. Whatever. Next segment here. We go to our first match of the night, which gets a 46 solid D rating here. We have a decent matchup as the team of the Sexy Studs pulls out quite an upset victory here over Russian Roulette in 9 minutes 39 seconds when Rockin' Robert Fuller defeats Alexis Smirnov with a quick, fast roll-up. You know what I should have done here? I should have put Baron von Eisinger in here to distract them. But then again, it's probably good I didn't because Russian Roulette's a heel team, Baron von Heisinger's a heel team, and Alexis Smirnov and Alex the Butcher really aren't good at pulling the face roll off, so wouldn't be smart to try to start a feud there. But either way, the Sexy Studs is our new team of Rockin' Robert Fuller and Superstar Jimmy Snuka, and of course Russian Roulette is Alex the Butcher and Alexis Smirnov, who used to be aligned with Baron von Heisinger, but it seems like they've split from each other. But either way, we're getting off topic here. The Sexy Studs pull out the victory, but just barely maybe here, as it seems like Rockin' Robert Fuller was just, able to roll Smirnoff up to get that victory there. Apparently, Alex the Butcher, almost said Alexis the Butcher, carried the match in terms of in-ring performances. Jimmy Snuka's not suited to his gimmick, and I'll be honest with you guys, it's a little bit of a shame that he's not, because I like the whole hippie gimmick for him. I'll probably turn him to a dude later on or something, but I can't turn him yet because it's too soon. Although a part of me thinks that maybe I should just turn him because he's already rated as awful. What's the worst that'll happen? It'll probably be awful again, so I might as well just wait it out. Either way, we already know about the excellent chemistry between Alex the Butcher and Alexis Smirnov. That's why they make such a perfect team. This match got the crowd hotter. Smirnov with an in-ring performance of a 40. The Butcher with a 56. Good God, he's good. Superstar Jimmy Snuka with a 32. And Rockin' Robert Fuller with a 32 in-ring performance as well. Good stuff. And that goes ahead and starts a new storyline as well between the two teams here. The Who's the Top Team storyline. A very creative name, may I add. All right. Moving on, we go to a 49D plus rating here as Russian Roulette, not quite down, in fact, quite shocked that they lost to the upstart team here, the Sexy Studs. They're not too happy about it, and well, they take out their frustrations on the Sexy Studs by beating them down afterwards, so that goes ahead and gains some heat for the storyline as well. And yes, game, we know he's not suited to the gimmick. You can stop telling me. Moving on, we go to a 27 solid E rating here. I'm glad that I didn't make this the opening bout of the night. 27 solid E rating here. An extremely short matchup here. George Holtz, our local jobber, I guess, of the IWC, takes on the newcomer Les Roberts, our loose cannon, by the way, which is one of our suggested gimmicks, or I guess required gimmicks, whatever you want to call them. So we fulfilled the loose cannon gimmick of Les Roberts here. I feel like he got kind of like a wild man look to him. Either way, though, George Holtz defeats Les Roberts in 4 minutes 30 seconds when Les Roberts gets intentionally disqualified. Doesn't care about the rules, doesn't heed the referee's warning. He takes his belt off. I can't speak today. Jeez, it's because I didn't bring water. He takes his belt off and he just begins to whip George Holtz in the back with it over and over again, just whipping him. And of course, the referee had to call for the bell. Unfortunately, that's what happens. George Holtz off his game. Les Roberts debuting his loose cannon gimmick and got a rating of great. Hell yeah. Got to do the Tony Tiger great there. Unfortunately here, Holtz and Roberts don't seem to click and they make for an awkward bout, which is a bit unfortunate because they are going to be in a storyline. So it'll have to be a short one, but that was always the plan anyway. George Holtz with an in-ring performance of a 24, Les Roberts with an 18, and it starts our storyline. There's a cannon on the loose. There we go. Les Roberts is improving in his performance skills as well. Moving on, we go to a 43 solid D rating as Roberts, still not listening to the referee here, doesn't even hear the bell going off. He is just continuing to whip George Holtz over and over and over again with his belt. And I'd honestly assume that it's on the metal side of the belt. I don't think it's on the end. I think it's the metal side. I think it's the opening. So Les Roberts is a bit of a loose cannon here. I don't know what set him off, but he is just whipping George Holtz over and over again until finally road agents, security, whatever you want to call them, hired help, come out and they pretty much try to get between the two. Maybe a few of them get whipped in the process, but either way, they're able to get George Holtz out of the ring and some of themselves out of the ring as well before Les Roberts can do any more damage. That goes ahead and gains some heat for the feud as well, which is awesome. We then move on to our next segment, which is the main event of the night. Triple threat match or a three-way dance. Call it what you want. 44 solid D rating here. Ooh, Bob Roop, you cheated? 44 solid D rating here, and about that had good heat and decent wrestling to it. Bob Roop goes over Ripper Savage and Jerry Monty in the three-way match after 12 minutes and 52 seconds when he beats Ripper Savage by pinfall after illegally using the ropes for leverage. Why did you do that? Did I put like a tainted victory? I didn't put a tainted victory. That's Bob Roop's doing. Bob Roop cheating to win. I would have never have expected the Iceman to do such a thing against Ripper Savage of all things, but I guess the stories just write itself sometimes, you guys. Either way, it doesn't say it in here, but we can look at the booking details, or I guess the road agent report. Jerry Monty looked like he might have been able to win that match here, but a little bit of a distraction from Don Arnold and a little bit of cheatery from Bob Roop gets Bob Roop the victory over his new rival of Ripper Savage, and our first challenger for Jody Arnold will be Bob Roop, and that's going to be one hell of a match. Roop, unfortunately, seemed off his game, still slowed by his injury, which is unfortunate, but I mean, come on, he was the best wrestler in the match still. Off his game, slowed by his injury, and he's still pulling off 44 solid D ratings here, while his opponents get a 41 and a 33. I mean, Bob Roop's a freaking star, guys. He may not look like it, but he's a freaking star. Bob Roop, in-ring performance of a 44. I'd like to see him on his game and not slowed by an injury. Ripper Savage, in-ring performance of a 33. Jerry Monty, 41 gained heat for both our storylines here. Any worker improvements? Unfortunately not. And that goes ahead and that ends off the show, increases our popularity in one region, and we got to tell Bob Roop he's killing it. We got to tell Bob Roop he's killing it. We got to tell Alex the Butcher that he's killing it. And I guess I don't know after that. I mean, I don't know who else. So let's go ahead. We'll tell Bob Roop. We're gonna point him out as a good example because fuck. Oh, almost cursed. Trying to stop cursing as much. Bob Roop is he's a good example. Look, he goes in there, he's off his game, he's slowed by an injury, and he's still outperformed everybody. Bob Roop and Alex the Butcher may be the best match we can put on in the IWC. I'm just saying it there. I'm going to go ahead and give Les Roberts some encouragement here because he had a good debut match, you know? Good angle as well. He pulled off his gimmick. Give him some encouragement. Say, you know, I think you're going to do well here in the IWC. Bob Roop, happy with our speech. The Butcher, very happy with our speech. We got to get him loyal to us, man. And Les Roberts seemed pleased, so I'm going to wait off a little bit before I end off this episode because I want to go ahead and show you guys the title that I picked for the championship. I know it's not the most big deal, so I guess we'll check out the creative meeting as well and do an auto push. But I do notice that whenever the game seems to load and do this not responding thing up here, my recording seems to lag out. I guess maybe it drops some frames. I'm not entirely sure, so I'm going to warn you guys from here on out that the recording may be a little behind. Or I guess I should say maybe I'll be a little bit of ahead. I may say something and then click on that something a few seconds later because, you know, that's just how technology works nowadays. So hopefully it doesn't do too bad. So let's go ahead and check out some of this stuff here real quick. Oh, look at that. Extremely positive. Apparently a great show from them. You're damn right it was. Pat Barrett on the rise. He works in America. How much would it cost to hire this guy? About $800. We'll add him to the short list. I don't have an idea. The only real reason I hired Les Roberts is because it hit me right away. But anytime, usually like that, I add him to the short list because it's not like I need talent right now. All right. Don, why are you irritated? Oh, wow, dude. You get mad that you get left off the show, too. I can't put everybody on the show. I'm sorry. Some people are just going to have to miss the show. It's just how it works. Let's go ahead and do an auto push real quick. See where everybody is at now. Unfortunately, Rockin' Robert Fuller still at a lower mid-card status. I believe Snuka was already a mid-carder. Is it too soon? Yeah, too soon to do unless it was part of a turn, and we aren't turning him. Everyone is kind of still in the same area. No one's really moving around here. Then again, a lot of these people weren't on here. Les Roberts, still an enhancement talent. I'm probably going to let Miss Sherry go and probably just hold our shows on Tuesday so we can use Snuka. Sherry's kind of just, she's eye candy. We don't really need women at this time, I don't think, so it's not like it matters. Creative meeting. Let's go ahead and check that out before we go ahead and look at the title. Then I'll end off the video. So our current franchise players are Alex the Butcher, Ripper Savage, Jody Arnold, Jerry Monty, and Don Savage. Our next big things. God, I can't talk today. Superstar Jimmy Snuka. Our hot prospects are Superstar Jimmy Snuka, Jim Alexi, Les Roberts, Rockin' Robert Fuller, and Frank Dalton. Nobody can talk the talk. Our showstoppers are Superstar Jimmy Snuka, Dino Bravo, Alexis Smirnov, Alex the Butcher, and Ripper Savage. Our ring generals are Alex the Butcher, Don Savage, Superstar Jimmy Snuka, Jerry Monty, and Bob Roop. Currently, Alex the Butcher, Jody Arnold, Superstar Jimmy Snuka, Dino Bravo, and Randy Tyler are considered hot, while George Holtz, Baron Von Heisinger, Guillotine Gordon, Ripper Savage, and Rockin' Robert Fuller are not. We have nobody in time declines, and I guess we'll look at our hidden gems. People like Eddie Sullivan, Kevin Sullivan, Bobby Hunt, Bobby Harmon, and Pat Barrett are all considered hidden gems. And interesting enough here, Pat Barrett was the guy we just saw. Yeah, you know what? Hey, maybe we'll be hiring Pat Barrett. A lot of these guys are unemployed too, which makes me, want to hire them a little bit more because that means that there's a chance that they can become loyal to me as well as, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh, no one interferes with them working here. Kevin Sullivan's a rookie right now. Well, you know what? Let's add him to our short list right now. Might be hiring Kevin Sullivan in the future. Be nice to have him. I'll be honest. We can do some weird stuff with him, some dark stuff. Either way, let's go ahead and show off the title design. This is the IWC Regional Championship. I kind of like it. I like how the flags kind of resemble. Well, it's not. It doesn't resemble the Arizona flag, but it reminds me of some flag that's a little bit, southern. I can't remember it. Either way, I like how the flags look. I just like the belt design. I think it looks nice. I like the design. I don't remember what the championship itself is, so out of curiosity, let's see. Is it gonna pop up? I guess not. Ah, you're kidding me. I gotta click on it too. Come on, just pop up. Usually it pops up when you show on the picture. Okay, never mind. It's not going to work, and I don't know what the name of the championship is off the top of my head, and I'm not about to shuffle through all that. Either way, that is what the IWC Regional Championship looks like. Does it matter? No, but I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to go ahead and check out the finances real quick. So we're currently about a little bit under $4,000, a little bit over. We're about 3,500, yeah, in the hole right now. And if we can match maybe December, maybe get a little bit more, maybe November style, but we are definitely following because, as I've mentioned many times already, we are not doing good in the USA right now. The economy falling. We're at a 42 solid D. Wrestling industry falling as well with a 61 solid C. So hopefully we pull it off, but there you guys go. There's how the finances look. I mean, we started off. I mean, we can't see January anymore from last year because it's a new year. So we were still, around like 4,000, around 5,000, $4,000 in sponsorships, and it's just kind of been going down ever since. We got a pretty much steady $4,000, a little bit under that. So hopefully, I think, unless it's a really bad month, because last month was pretty bad, we should be able to do it. Either way, though, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor, leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you have not already, and don't forget to share this video with your friends, Facebooks, Twitters, Instagrams. I don't give a dams. Anybody you feel who would enjoy my content, give it a share, help your homeboy out, get some new subscribers up in this bitch. Either way, my name's been OMG.